Hey y'all, welcome back for another spiritual snack. We are continuing in our Why It Matters series, but today I initially wanted to talk about communion, or I was going to do baptism, but considering the past events, the events that just took place over this last week, I want us to instead talk about why our faith matters. 10 minutes before we got the verdict for the murder of George Floyd, we found out that another young girl was taken at the hands of police officers. And that young girl was, I believe, 15 or 16 years old, very young, so the same age as many of you. And so I know, if it's weighing on me, that it is also weighing on you. And so that is why I felt so strongly that for this spiritual snack, for this week's rendition of Why It Matters, that we talk about our faith and why it's so important that we have faith in something higher than the things that we can see on this earth. And so let's go right into the text. Our text for today is Psalm chapter 9, verses 7 through 10. And it reads like this. The Lord reigns forever. He has established his throne for judgment. He rules the world in righteousness and judges the peoples with equity. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Those who know your name trust in you. For you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. Our God is a God of the oppressed. One of my favorite books is by James Cone, and it's called God of the Oppressed. But the fact of the matter is, when we go through these seasons, we have to be able to trust in something beyond what we can see. Because when the world is showing us such hate and such disdain and such disregard for our young people, for us, when we see systemic oppression and racism, when this is what we're constantly seeing, our faith is what will allow us to keep going. It's our faith in God. Our faith, and the text tells us, right, that God will never forsake us, that God is in fact our refuge. And we have to trust and have faith in that God, in our God, because that is the only way that we will be able to continue this fight. And in fact, if I can be completely transparent, that is the only way that we will be able to continue to even exist at the simple, most basic of levels. Because when we think about the weight that comes with everything that we experienced, even in this past week, y'all, it has been so much. And it can be so overwhelming. I know it's overwhelming for you guys, because it's overwhelming for me too. It's overwhelming for my friends. It's overwhelming for my mama. It's overwhelming for us at all different generations, at all different levels. And it is so important that we remember where our help comes from. And that is why I've always told you guys what I said about the Black Lives Matter movement, because it can be draining to be constantly reminded of just how much hate really exists in this world. And if we don't have faith in our God, then we will eventually lose hope. And that's something that we can simply not afford to do. Generations before us have fought. Generations before us have been hurt, have been disregarded, have been taken advantage of. There are generations of people that look like us who have gone through even worse, and I know it's hard for us to imagine, but even worse than what we're experiencing today. And the reason they were able to keep going, the reason that they were able to keep pushing and keep fighting and keep praying and just keep existing was because of their faith in God. It was because of their faith in God. At the end of the day, that is what kept them going when they constantly were being reminded of the way that people hated them simply because of the way that they looked, because of the way, because of the color and the melanin, the beautiful melanin that existed in their skin. They were hated and they had to keep living. They had to keep existing, and we do too. And the only way that we can do that, y'all, the only way that we can keep fighting, and you guys truly are the future. And so that is why it's so important to me that you guys shore up your faith, that you guys ensure that you are praying and that you are believing on something higher, bigger, badder than you, okay? God protects and keeps, God provides, God restores, God heals. And most importantly, and I think I also said this on one of our Real Talk sessions before, we have to understand that it is up to God to change hearts. Right? We can say whatever we want to say. We can protest as much as we want to protest. We can scream, yell. We can do everything that we want to do. But the only way that the hate that exists in this nation and even in this world is going to be shifted is called metanoia, that type of shift in spirit and in heart. The only way that that can take place is with God. So plant your seeds. Do what you want to do. Protest in the way that is safe. Protest in the way that is safe. Protest in a way that is smart. Use your voice. Your voice is powerful. And then trust that God will take it from there. Have faith that God truly won't forsake you, that God will water and nourish and grow every single seed that you plant in this nation, in your community, in your school, among your friends. God will do God's part. And we have to allow God to do that. But the only way that this is possible is if we have faith. And that, y'all, that is why faith matters. That's all that I have for you guys today. I pray that each of you is staying safe. If you watch this after April 25th, then you missed an epic party, because we are having our squad party, our game night, this Sunday, April 25th. And we are going to be talking about this a little bit more, because I know that you guys have so much to say and so much on your hearts and spirits. And so I want to give you an opportunity to share so we can talk about it, and more importantly, pray about it. All right, y'all, I'm wrapping. I will see y'all next week. Stay poppin' and be blessed.